Oops. Oh. Hey YouTube, it's Cecilia Lane. I'm actually making another response video to MzSashaLaRue I've. She did a video today asking about protein shakes, alcohol, impact on relationships. What's that?
Is that good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks. Sorry, I was talking to my daughter. And then she also talked a little bit about depression and such pre-op, what it feels like to be large and, you know, the things that are going on in their head. Anyway, so, and also I realized that in my last video I had put off momentarily what I was going to talk about with, in regards to how much you can eat. So, let me do that first. When I first started, when I was pre-op, before I had my surgery, this was how much I could eat. Probably this, and then maybe another one. So maybe 2 of these I could eat before. Right after my surgery, this is how much I could eat. Right here. That's how much I could eat in one meal. So huge difference. And that was eating like 6 to 8 times a day, I guess. Probably like 6 times a day. I could eat about this much. A snack for me after like the first month and a half, 2 months, a great snack would be like 2 pretzel sticks. Yeah. And then today, 2 years out, this is about how much I can eat. Probably more the inside of the plate. I can sit down and eat in one sitting. Today for lunch I had, this is a perfect example, I had a half of a sandwich with lunch meat in it, bologna, salami, ham, very thinly sliced, a couple of chips, and a sandwich size slice, like one of the thin ones of pickles. So that's what I had for lunch, and that would fit perfectly on this plate right here inside. So, alright, so sorry about that. On to her current video. So you were asking about some more milks and things that you could mix with protein shakes. Honestly, you can try anything. What is going to work for you now before your surgery and what will work after are 2 completely different things generally. So you're going to have to try and see what you like, and what you like now is not necessarily what you're going to like. Sorry, my hair is kind of crazy. It's not necessarily what you're going to like in, you know, after the surgery. So, you know, try the coconut milk. I cook with that a lot. I cook a lot of Thai food. I got to tell you, after my surgery, I can't eat as much like coconut milk and things like that. Anything that's like dairy based upsets my stomach a little. So, and that's common with many post-op, and yet some people have no problems. Lucky them. As far as protein shakes, I suggest you do the tub before and after. Buying the shakes can get very, 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 very expensive. It's like buying diapers. You're amazed at how much you can go through, how quickly it goes, and how expensive it can be. When you're just trying the different flavors and types out, you may want to try, I mean, what is the place that Daddy goes for his protein?
GNC.
GNC. You may want to try GNC, because GNC has a money-back guarantee. You don't like it, you can take it back and buy something else. They'll let you try something else, even though you've opened it and everything. So while you're trying things, it's really good to use GNC. And then once you've found your shake of choice, you can buy that anywhere. My favorite was the Gladiator Vanilla that came from Smoothie King. Yep, it has very low carbohydrates, fat, sugar, calories, all of that. And I did really well with that one. And then I could add like chocolate flavoring, you know, sugar-free syrups to change the taste of it. make it banana, strawberry, chocolate, whatever I wanted. So I really like that one. Drinking alcohol. I live in New Orleans, so drinking is like a staple. It's like eating rice. So I probably started drinking again about 3 months or so out. When I drink, now I guess I can consume a lot more alcohol. However, in the beginning it was very small amounts, and even now, say I drink a glass of wine, it's this kind of size of glass of wine that you would get in a restaurant. You know how you're always like, what happened? You didn't fill up my glass to the top. Well, that's actually the exact right amount for me now. Second of all, I cannot eat and drink, or drink and eat. And I'm not talking about just regular drinking and eating food. I'm saying that if I drink alcohol, I cannot eat anything right afterwards. It will upset my stomach. It will make me nauseous. The only things I can really eat when I'm drinking alcohol are like pretzels. Yeah, pretzels, Chex Mix, kind of very simple type of carbs that will help absorb the alcohol, because it does have a very strong and instant effect on me. The best thing for me to do when I do plan to go out with my friends, and I know we're going to be drinking that night, is I'll eat something like a slice of pizza before I leave, and then that way I have something good and solid on my stomach that's going to absorb the alcohol really well and keep it from affecting me too quickly and possibly making me sick. So one of the drinks I do like is SoCo and Diet Coke. I'm not really a soda drinker.
I like Coke and Dr. Pepper makes some wine.
Yeah. I'm not really a soda drinker, but when I do, it's always diet, and the fizziness and everything isn't all that pleasant, but I do enjoy it every once in a while, and so occasionally I do drink it. Impact on friends, that's a really good one. So the thing is, I had my surgery here in New Orleans, and I'm not from here. I'm originally from Washington, D.C., so all of my friends and everything are in D.C., the ones that I grew up with and who've known me the way I've been for forever, which is that. So most of the people who saw my transformation here in New Orleans were people who had just met me a year, 2 years before that. And people that were my friends, they have adjusted very well to the transition and are very happy for me and have been extremely supportive. People who were not really my friends, say co-workers that didn't especially care for me, they're not so happy, and they're definitely on the haters bench. And when they see me now, looking fabulous in some dress and everybody else is complimenting me, I can tell it's like it takes everything in them to not just like come over and claw my eyes out. So, but you know what, since I don't really care for them either, it doesn't really bother me. Then there are some people who are just like acquaintances. And it's funny, the things that people say. So one of my acquaintances, I remember, said to me, she's rather large and short and round, said to me, I guess like a year and a half in, how she was going to do it the natural way. Suffice to say, she's still short and large and round. And I'm not digging at her in that sense. I just know the whole reason I had the surgery is because I knew I wasn't going to succeed on my own. I knew after 37 years of struggling with my weight, I'd come to the realization that this was something that had gotten outside of my control. And let me check my time right quick. Okay. And I was not going to be able to overcome this. And I needed help. I needed help really, really badly, and it was something that I truly believe that without some real intervention, I was not going to succeed. And what I had ahead of me was a life of just ballooning larger and larger and larger and larger until, I got so big that I was homebound. So that was why I chose the weight loss surgery. I felt I needed something extreme and drastic and serious that forced a level of commitment that I had not yet been able to achieve. And that's exactly what it's done for me. So, but it's just interesting to me to listen to other people who haven't gone through the journey, and who are still in the mindset that, I remember what that was like, being in that mindset, and how it felt, and how it felt looking at others who were succeeding when you were not. And so when somebody says something like that to me, I'm thinking to myself, or they're talking about weight loss. There are a lot of people in my office, that are overweight and are struggling. And they make up all the same lies that I made up to myself. I hate to say that. I hate to be mean that way, but I don't know if it is mean, because it's the truth. That's what I did. I told myself lies to feel better, mixed with truth. There were definitely truth in there, but there were a lot of lies. I had no idea how much I was eating. I really didn't. I remember looking back right after my surgery and thinking, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how much food I was consuming, and I had no idea. I thought that it wasn't that much. I couldn't understand why, I was putting on weight before my surgery, and why it was so difficult to take it off, because, I wasn't having that much to eat. I wasn't eating that much. What I realize now, looking back, is, I don't eat. Let's say that I have some kind of dessert or cookie or something. That is not on top of a huge breakfast, McDonald's lunch, a whole 6-inch Subway, plus cookies, plus drink, plus snacks, plus a full dinner. That's a cookie on top of 3/4 of a 6-inch sub, half of a bagel, 1 cheese stick, some fruit, and 8 spears of asparagus and 3 ounces of chicken. So a huge difference, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it. And I don't know if it's that I didn't see it, or I was just lying to myself, or it was a combination of the two, or that I'd gotten so skewed and so off track that I didn't even know what was reality. I didn't know what was the appropriate amount. So, I listened to them, these other people who are in the situation that I was before, and I see how they're fooling themselves or lying to themselves. And I think that's what we need to do, because for me, it was a cesspool of depression. I can't tell you how unhappy I was. And Miss Sasha, when you said you feel like you're squeezed into everything, that was exactly how I felt. I felt like I was like a sausage who was constantly stuffed into clothes. I hated getting dressed. I wore 5 outfits that I interchanged, and no matter how many times I would try and buy slacks that were comfortable, I was always growing out of them. The waistline, if you look in my before and after pictures on my bikini, you can see the darkening on my waistline from my clothes cutting into my stomach so much every time I sat down, which was all the time. And now, 2 years out, that line is gone. I don't have that darkening. I don't have that feeling where I'm like constantly, even if something is tight, it's tight, but it's not that like constricting, especially on the waist area that it used to be. And that was a horrible feeling. And yeah, I was definitely in a deep depression, and I felt like there was no way out. There was no solution for me. And then one day, I saw on TV talking about weight loss surgery, and I thought maybe there's some hope for me. And in no way has it fixed all my problems or my life or everything, but it has definitely changed my outlook on everything. And so today I tend to start from a place of yes rather than a place of no, or start from a place of optimism rather than pessimism. So it's given me that. As far as family and friends, I mean, so my friends back home, check my time again. Wow, 16 minutes. So my friends back home, some are in awe of me, some actually avoid me. There's been all kinds of reactions. Family members, people say that they barely even recognize me anymore. But in general speaking, with all of my friends back home, they've been very positive about it. They have. I do have one friend who I'm very close with, who has had the same struggle, and we've been struggling, together. And I had the surgery, and she has not. And she has made some kind of comments. I mean, how can you not? If I was in her place, how can you not be a little envious or upset, or I don't know. So I try to take it with a grain of salt. I know that she's hurting the same way that I was hurting before I had the surgery, and I refuse to take offense to it, or any real offense, or hold any grudge against her or anything, because it's difficult. It has to be difficult. And so I know that it's hurting her. The last thing is, I am much more stylish than I used to be. Oh my gosh, I was such a bad dresser. People said that I wasn't, but I still was. I don't know why they say that. But I definitely was. I was a horrible dresser. I had horrible style. I was always wearing dowdy stuff, and I don't know. Go as bad as you can, and think of where I wanted to wear things like pinafores and plaids. I don't know, really crazy stuff that is just not cool. And so then when I got slim and those things, and I was like, yeah, I can finally wear them, I found out they don't look good. That I was very wrong. Yeah, Ivy said yes, my daughter said yes. I was very wrong, that my taste was rather on the side of horrifying. And so now I'm much more stylish, much better dresser. My daughter helps me a lot with that. Keeps me in style, and says that oftentimes I look like a cool teenage mom. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, having kids as a teenager who are 11. But anyways, I'll take it. So I know, as usual, I've gone on forever, but I just wanted to try and give some, I guess, more in-depth insight. These aren't the kind of things that usually I go into a whole bunch. So it's great having these kind of questions, and it really takes me back and reminds me, how blessed I am, and what a wonderful transformation this has been for me, and what a great place I am in now versus 2 years ago. So thank you for reminding me, MzSashaLaRue, how lucky I am. And I have to tell you, the happiness has made me want to share my happiness with others, and wishing fantastic things for others. So that's been a real positive impact of the change for me, that as I've become happier, I've it's increased my desire to share that happiness, as in I want everybody else to be happy too. So not that I didn't before, but I think I was more insular before, and now I'm more open to the world and embracing others and sharing my love and happiness with others. So please feel free to ask any more questions. Obviously, I'm just dying to get online and answer them. So, all right, I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you, too.